What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Leaf Israel back again with another episode of the Network Nights podcast. Uh it's sad times right now, y'all. It's sad times. As you can see, we are in a different location. We got a different setup. It's bittersweet actually, Wifey hooked this up. Auntie Katie hooked your boy up with a brand new studio, brand new man cave. I'll give y'all a preview of that later. I think y'all gonna really like it because I'm in love with the spot so far. But the bittersweet part is shout out to the cast studio, Larry. He was the one pretty much y'all saw in the background who was engineering and making all the video episodes and the audio, just doing everything. He made it all crisp and pop. He is on to something newer and better, greener pastures. And I want to say a big shout out to you, Larry. Good luck in your future endeavors. Appreciate all the wisdom and guidance you taught me, and hopefully I can make you proud and keep my foot on that gas pedal like you told me. Keep putting that pressure on people's necks. So, with that being said, happy Tuesday to y'all. Hopefully your bank account is looking nice, and hopefully the weather's getting nice. I mean, I'm gonna say this again, but I know my guest is in a good spot. I know he's in a good spot, not like Bobby last time where he was dealing with wind and cold. But I do want to introduce my guest. It is going to be a man by the name of Gage Trotter, Kennedy Trotter, but as y'all gonna know, we gonna call him Gage this entire time. But he is the author of a book, and not just any book. It's a children's book, and it's real sentimental to me. Especially y'all will figure out why at the end of this too. But the book is called Oh Where is Lola-Bear, and his company is called K&K Adventures. Give a quick little synopsis of this book. Join the Trotter twins in their desperate endeavor to help them find their one-of-a-kind fur friend. A fantastic book about perseverance and critical thinking skills that is enjoyable for children of any age, rhyming all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Like Dr. Seuss. All right. I'm not saying he's Dr. Seuss, but he on the way there. He's on the way there. All right. Rhyming all the way through. The book keeps parents and children alike interested until the end. This is the first book of the K&K Adventure series, inspired by the actual Trotter twins and their French bulldog, Lola. Come join the boys on their many adventures as they solve problems together, as any good team should. So, of course, y'all, sit back, relax, get your notepad out, and enjoy the show.
Crossroads with missing signs. Not sure, left or right. Maybe straight on, make a path of my own. Never known from before, kicking that door tomorrow.
You know it ain't promised. But we're here today. Without further ado, I'd like to bring in my guests. Welcome to this set, the virtual set. My man Gage, man. What's going on, brother?
What's up, Leaf, man? Holding it down out here in Picola right now. Yeah, man, life is good. Thanks for having me on the show, dude. This is legit. I'm so proud of you, man. You just, taking this by storm, and it's amazing. So love the content, love the purpose and the mission. So it's great, dude.
I appreciate, man. Hey, gotta do another. I appreciate, man. This journey has been rocky for both of us, man. Especially, Gage and I go way back since the academy days. That's a trend at this point now, right? Does everybody from the academy, turn out to be really successful? You got good odds. I will say that you got good odds. I'm not saying everybody because there's some people that will not be on the show, but again, back focusing on you, Gage, man. So you said you're in Pepsi-Cola or Pensacola, Florida, as other people know it, man. How things out there for you?
Good right now. Just doing some training. Excited to just get this knocked out and then get back to the fam and then make the big move to Texas. So excited about that. Ready to start setting some roots down there a little bit. And so excited to be around family, get our kids around their grandparents, which will be really nice. Just having that support system and then also just that integrated family life. So super pumped.
Hey man, I'm jealous, man. So before this offline, Gage and I were talking. This man's happy, and like we always laugh. Like in the military, it's like, man, like nobody's real happy. My man is happy. Like he's glowing, right? I'm like, dang, bro, he's lighting the whole room up right now. So man, I'm happy as hell for you as well, and I'm so excited to get into this book, bro, because this is amazing. Like I remember when you dropped the book, I was like, wait a minute, how did this even happen? How did you get the idea? But we got to start slow. So um, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I'm Gage. I was born in New Orleans, raised in Houston, North Houston. There's a small town called Conroe, Texas. So was there, grew up. I was a swimmer growing up. That was the sport I kind of gravitated to. Was lucky enough to, get into the Naval Academy and then met Khalif there and, had some really, really good times. Also met my wife there. And so then, after that, graduated, served, and been doing my time ever since. So been enjoying that. Like to, work out a ton, play video games. Don't really get that much anymore with the kids, but, give it 5 or 6 years and the boys will be on video games themselves. So I'll be able to crack back into it. So that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, you were a big gamer back in the academy days.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was my thing, baby.
Dude, the video games now, man, are going to be like, so I feel old looking at how the video games have like just moved in the future.
They're so advanced now. I mean, like it's ridiculous. So yeah. It's impressive.
Yeah, dude. Good luck to y'all kids. I mean, I know somebody was telling me how like their kids can play it on an iPad and they're just like whipping bullets left and right. And I'm like, dang, I can't even draw on an iPad. I don't know how you're doing this on an iPad.
Yeah, no way. I got to stick to the console or the computer. No way I can do the iPad gaming. It's another level of dexterity, I feel like.
Yeah, man. So the book, right?
Okay.
So where, like, I don't even know, like, how did this idea even come about for you to make a book?
Yeah. So really it kind of boiled down to, Julia and I were trying to bring a baby into this world. And next thing we knew, we were bringing in twins. And so we were pumped about it. And then, given the twin situation, right, there's usually always, some complications, when it comes to twins. And so we were trying to just be like extra good parents and kind of start reading early to the kids, even though they were still in the womb. Right. And they talk about like, how the children can, after a certain period of time, I don't know if it's somewhere around 20 plus weeks, but they can actually start recognizing your voice at that point. So they advise like, that fluid communication, reading, anything that you can kind of do to get the kids, familiar with your voice, especially from the male side. Right. Because, they're in mama. So they're going to hear mama's voice. But, if dad's not talking too much, right? So we would be reading books and, we kind of just like ran out of baby books, so to speak. And then I also found myself kind of gravitating towards like the rhyme scheme books because, they were just more interesting also for the reader, right? Like obviously children's books are for the children, but, you want to be able to, enjoy it a little bit yourself. So found myself kind of gravitating towards that. And then eventually I found myself reading like the same 10 books. And it was like, man, I'd really like to mix it up a little bit. And then started talking with Julia and somehow it got brought up about our Friday nights that we used to have as youngsters. And our freestyle capabilities.
No, all right. Hold on, pause.
Right?
Wait a minute.
Right?
Oh my God!
Right?
All right, keep going. All right.
And how we'd have those sessions here and there, and so we were just cracking up about that. And I was like, you know what? I remember having a pretty good rhyme scheme, and I was like, I'm gonna take a crack at this. And so it kind of started as like a, can you do it? and then started, and then yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. And then it really came to fruition when the kids were born early. So with the twins, it kind of just caught us by surprise. I'd actually just gotten out of the school, and I come home, and I had been gone for some time before then. And I'd just been back one day, and thank God that I was back. And we woke up early in the morning, and it was, hey, babies are coming. And it was like, whoa. All right. Well, that was unexpected. So had to get to the hospital, get the boys out. Julia, Champ, and the boys were there, but they had to go to the NICU because they were born so early. So, kind of as like a coping mechanism, I guess you'd say, is it was the middle of the pandemic, right? Everybody's garbed out, and basically full on hazmat suits in these NICUs. So it kind of really desensitized, that first interaction that you're supposed to have with your kid. And for us, it was kids, right? So it was pretty tough. And, we kind of each had our coping mechanism, and mine was making this book happen. Yeah, and so that's kind of how I got into it. So wild.
You went through so much there, bro. I'm still kind of laughing. So just the audience to understand. Do I have a bottle in here right now? So just so y'all understand, this right here, if somebody did this at a party, product placement. If somebody did this at a party, this would mean that you have to freestyle. And this be the mic. So we would take this and be, yeah. And we would start freestyling no matter what party, no matter where we're at, we would just start getting it. And so the fact that Gage is talking about these freestyles, that still happen. That's
Great.
Jackson, he could still do it, bro. That's a great, I'm glad that was like part of the inspirational story. That's awesome. When you mentioned the rhyming books, so I just know Dr. Seuss. Was that like the beginning, and then pretty much the other 9 books were similar to those?
Yeah, so Dr. Seuss was intermixed in there. There's a couple other authors. I wish I could give them credit. I can't even think of the books off the top of my head right now. So
they ain't paying you. Don't worry about it. They ain't paying you. Don't worry about them.
But Dr. Seuss, there was 1 or 2, and then the other 7 or so were just various authors that just had really, really good rhyme scheme books. And some of them were iambic pentameter and other things like that. But they were very well written. And I think that's kind of like why I gravitated towards them, because they were, equally interesting in the challenge to articulate, as well as, the message that was getting across, right? It had layers. So that was cool.
Gotcha. Dang, man. So I'm painting myself in your picture now. Okay, so you got 2 twins. 2 twins. You have 1 set of twins. See, 2 twins. Yeah. Okay. Words. You got twins. You're coming back from the hospital at this point. You're kind of getting nestled into your house in DC, and is at this point you're kind of like, could you wrote some stuff down on a piece of paper? But when did it go from, this was fun? Oh wait, I did this. Let me actually pursue this further down the road and make this come into fruition. Where did that transformation happen?
So that actually still happened in the NICU. So
oh wow.
Yeah. So I was basically just burning and churning. It was my way to kind of handle the situation, right? To create sort of this tangible product.
How long were you in there for?
Dude, we were in there for a while, man. We were in there for, I would say, looking back on it, it was about 12 weeks, so it's a long time.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know why I thought, I definitely had different, okay, holy crap.
Yeah, so it was a long time. So was able to to finish the book there, and then essentially started talking with Amazon and kind of like, hey, how do I bring this product to fruition? And so essentially started designing like some sketches, right? And then was able to be linked up by actually a good friend of our, mutual academy buddy, Stephen Odell. And his wife had a friend back in Sweden, and she connected me with her. And so she was a fantastic artist. And, I had some, rough sketches in mind, and I was like, hey, this is the book. This is kind of how I see things kind of flowing. And then brought that piece in, got the kids home. And then basically it was the technicals after that got put on. We got, 3 books in the pipe, so to speak. First one came out, and so a little bit, I would say probably about 4 weeks after leaving the NICU, the whole architecture for bringing this finished product had been laid out, and then it was just burn and churn and get it done after that.
Wow, man, that is, dude, that's insane. That how quickly you said that it kind of just leapfrogged into the next task. Shoot, man, you threw me off. I figured this was going to be like such a drawn out process to get to the point where you're at now. And did you say correctly? Did you say you have 3 books in the pipeline? Like that was like kind of the deal that was made?
Yeah. So got that. So so K&K Adventures is kind of like the culmination of the whole series, right? And so essentially we got 2. So we got the 3 books, right? So you got Where's Lola-Bear, To the Moon, and then SB and Me. So those are 3 books that are written, getting worked on. Where is Lola-Bear has already been published, and then the other 2 books are to come. And then we have a 4th book that's kind of in the talks right now. So basically got to finish writing that whenever I have the time to do that. I don't know what that time is now. And then hopefully can get that in the chop and get that flowing. So, yeah.
So like that initial conversation with Amazon, was it, hey, you can do this, but we're going to sign you? Like, how did even that get approached? Like, did they look at your book and say, oh, this is pretty good. Hey, no, let's make something happen here?
So the first time actually it was kind of like this, well, hey, like, we'll see your product, best of luck. Bye. And it was like, oh, well, that was rough, because I think they get kind of saturated with a bunch of people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, I got a book I want to have published and yada, yada, yada. And so then it was actually a pretty speedy process. Got back on the phone with Amazon, showed them once I got the copyright and that was completed, pushed them that. It was really just a streamlined review of just, hey, does it meet the technical requirements, right? Does it meet X, Y, and Z, protocols for falling into the children's book category? And then they were like, hey, this is a great series. Like, how many do you have? And it was like, well, this is the first of 3 right now. And then they were like, okay, well, we'll just keep them coming. And then it was really smooth after that. But the first hurdle was like kind of, we'll have to see it to believe it. And then got very fortunate and lucky the second time around.
So what made you say, what was a moment where you said, no, this isn't just one, this is a continuation? Like, you wrote that one in the NICU, but then it was, hey, I have a vision for more books. Like, what did that come after the NICU? Or, you were there for 12 weeks. So was it like kind of while you were in there where you kind of wrote all of them? Like, how did that process go?
So I started writing the second one while I was in there as well, just the last couple of days, really. But essentially, I wrote the first one, and I just didn't feel fulfilled, right? And I kind of felt compelled that there's all these specific life lessons that I want my sons to know through a reinforced childlike manner. And and other people that could benefit from, this product. And I just was like, well, I'm just going to try. Right. And bada bing, the ideas were flowing. And then the second one came, while I was working the technicals on the first one, because you do have some lag time. Right. And so it was me kind of still, late at night, get the kids down. And then, where does this energy go? Where does this, inspiration go? And it was like, I just need to hit the keyboard, right, and just kind of keep burning that midnight fuel. And so and then next thing I knew, I had the 3 scripts, and it was like, oh wow, well, that's done. So
dude, that's insane. And I mean, I think people have heard about that driving force that propels people into just, hey, I just kept going, just kept going. And next thing you know, oh, here, I have these 3 products now that I just whipped out of nowhere. But hearing you explain that, man, like it feels like I can actually like see that force that you were talking about. Like I have an idea in my head that seeing you just like cranking out freaking just writing. Dude, all right. Let's be honest here, man. I don't remember seeing you read a book in college. All right, bro. No. Let's keep it 100. I don't remember, like, between you, Gage, and Romero, and that freak. I don't remember a book being in there, man.
Yeah.
Like, how? I know. I feel like I already asked this question, but like, when you were looking at the medium to express yourself, and you went with the book route, did you look at other mediums as well? You talked about the freestyle stuff, but did you look at anything else?
I don't think I did, to be honest. I think it all kind of stemmed from the freestyle and from the rhyming books. And it was just, I knew that this was something that I was going to do with the kids, right? Daily, nightly, right? Reading, children's books, right? And so I wanted to have something that I could give them that, not only would teach them what I wanted them to learn, but also the compassion, or I can't describe the specific emotion that would, emulate what I'm trying to state, but that when they would get older, right, and you're sitting there and you're wondering, like, did somebody care, right? They have books about them, right? So that almost physical embodiment of the love, right, that I had for them. And it was like, if I sell more than 1 copy, great. But if it's just 1 copy and it's me buying my own book, like, that's good enough, right?
And
that was kind of the like logic that went into it. And then, lo and behold, next thing you know, people are reaching out, and just the love and support was just, amazing. And it's been really cool. It's been a super fun adventure so far. Looking forward to the future of it. And it's great. It's so good.
Dude, man, I mean, congrats again. We're gonna say congrats a lot, right? Because this show is about flowers, and we're just gonna give out all the flowers right now. But
thank you.
We're not gonna give anybody about the book, because they can go buy the book, right?
Yeah.
It's on Amazon now, right? In the show notes, you guys can check that out now, and you can see, hey, there's a link. You click it. My man already got 6 reviews, all 5 stars. That's why I checked. I just checked it. Let me check it again.
Boom.
Yep, I got 6 reviews, all 5 stars across the board. My man's killing it. So you can go check it out for your kids and get that. But if you had to, besides that summary I gave in the beginning about the book, if you had to give a little bit more, what would you give the audience?
Oof, tough. I would say,
don't spoil it though. Don't get no spoilers.
Yeah. I think it's the wordplay is fun, right? Like, it's supposed to keep you as the reader also equally interested, right? And the hope is that you get a little bit better at reading it every time that you read it, right? Because a children's book, you don't just read it once, right? And then it just goes away. It's not like where most adult books you read once, and if you really loved it, you might read it twice. But you're reading children's books over and over again. So the hope is you find something new, because there's a lot of layers to the book, right? Whether it's in the imagery or it's in the wordplay, right? Or if it's in the messaging, right? So the hope would be is you notice something new every time that you read it. And I've noticed that with people that have purchased the book, they would text me and they'd be like, "Wow, I didn't even realize this until like the fourth time I read it to my kids." And that's super cool, right? And it's just that extra layer of complexity that you can teach your kids on that critical thinking skill. Like, you're reading a book, but like, what are you noticing in the words? What are you noticing that's between the lines, right? And that's a really good skill to develop or start developing early on. And a side note, for those listening, for every 10th book that's purchased, one copy goes to Johns Hopkins NICU to support their library there for the families that are there with their kids in the NICU. So if you're trying to get your good deed done for the day, week, month, year, you can do that way. And Johns Hopkins NICU is fantastic. Donated copies just, right when I first published the book. And the teams there are great. And yeah.
Dude. Because like now if y'all look, just buy the book, y'all. Just buy the book. Because now you got all the incentive in the world to buy the book to help out you, your children, and help out others. Come on, it's easy. It's a no-brainer. I got a surprise for you at the end of this, Gage, so I'll hold off on that. But I got a surprise for you. Yeah, I got something. You'll see. You'll see it in a little bit, but I'll tell you the heads up now.
Cool.
Shoot, man. Shoot. And I gotta get back on track. See all this goodness, man. Sometimes I just get lost. I'm like, man, this is too good. It's too good. So you did mention that, once you published the book, you started to get calls, people reaching out. What has come from you, right? From this book being published and now being sold throughout the world?
A lot of interest came in, and and a lot of thanks, right? Like, people that I didn't know reaching out and just saying like, "Hey, we really enjoyed the book. This is super meaningful." And then I think just a lot. I feel like it's mainly been like hearts and minds, so to speak, in a sense of like, just, "Hey, this book really touched us, and it's meant a lot, for our particular situation." Right? Gotten reached out to just by a plethora of people in that sense. So it's kind of opened up that, I guess, aperture for the appetite on my end for, originally the concept was, right, make this book, it touches friends and family and that, but like even more so other people now, right? Like, okay, this is great. So I would say that's probably the biggest point that was opened up that really touched me the most, I would say.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I definitely understand that, man. I think since starting this podcast, it's the same, hey, let me just start this and see where it goes. And, people came up to me afterwards, man, like, "Hey, man, I heard your podcast. Hey, I really appreciate that. Hey, what do you think about this?" And I was like, "Y'all don't know me? What? Oh, you guys kind of know me." Like, people, it'd be surprising, like, people that reach out to you after the fact of something that you thought was so small, and you're making a difference in their world, man. So I'm gonna give you what they gave me, is keep going, man. You gotta keep going, because
appreciate it.
And it sucks. It's gonna suck sometimes, because now we have expectations of you.
Right.
Now, hey, Gage,
that is a standard, right?
Yeah. Now you just raise the bar, and of course, if you ever want to stop and say, "Hey, no, I'm good. Things are different," but I implore you, man, especially if it's good in the world, man. I think we need more love and goodness in the world than anything now, man. Because the message that people are getting, even kids are getting off of TikToks and all the other crap. It's just ridiculous, man.
Dude, tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, you already have these thoughts and probably talks with Julia, so it's like,
yeah,
I'm still trying to fathom that talk with my child when I have a child. I don't have a child yet.
Which is coming when?
So
right,
I think there's there we go.
Dude, he's next.
We'll see, right? We'll see what God has in store for us. Yeah, man. I mean, shoot. So you kind of gave the heads up about what's coming next. Besides the 3 books that we can expect. Actually, we got 3 books coming out soon. What's the timeline, deadline? Like where are we looking at in terms of expectations?
Yeah, so the second book got a little delayed just because of the move and stuff like that. So what we're shooting for right now is we're shooting for hopefully winter time this year for the second book, and then the third book would be shortly right after that. So they would actually come a little closer together but further from the first one. And then the fourth book, no time stamp on that one yet, just because it hasn't been completed yet. Mm-hmm. So so super cool. I mean, pumped. Hopefully get that fourth one wrapped up. But yeah, so winter of this year for the second book is what we're hoping for, and expecting, and then summer of next year for the third book.
And man, you talked about like your timeline got pushed back a little bit. You were still in the Navy.
Oh yeah, I'm still in the Navy.
Like you're still in the Navy. Are you 04 yet?
No, not 04 yet.
I gotta ask these questions because once Jeff came, I was like, oh shoot, like we're there. Like we're starting to get there. So
yeah, isn't that crazy? I was like, what?
Yeah, I feel not that. Now I feel old. Now it's like 04 is old, bro.
Right.
It's over. But you're still in the Navy. You're like you're saying, you're going to school right now. You're going to execute a move shortly after that, going from DC to Texas or Tejas. Shout out to y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how do you time manage? And you have twins.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. How do you time manage all of this, man? Like, give us the blueprint because we need it.
I mean, honestly, like it boils down to late nights. That's really like where you get it in. In the beginning, when the kids were in the NICU, right, they were young enough, right, that you're not super hands-on and stuff like that. And then once they came out of the NICU, right, I mean, newborns are newborns. It's you got a 3 to 4 hour rotation clock that's going, right? So wake up, change the diaper, feed, put them to sleep, down. So, I mean, that was where I got the bulk of the work done was in those little window gaps. And then once they got a little older and it was more this, awake during the day, maybe a nap or 2 naps during the day and then sleeping through the night, it would be, you put them down for bedtime after you read them the book, right? And then right, read them a book. That's a fact. Read them a book every night. If you're really trying to go in on it, 2 or 3 books a night. And then you put them down, they're out, you eat your grub or you already had dinner, and then you get to work right then, because you're gonna have to wake up early when the babies wake up, or you got to wake up in the middle of the night if the babies wake up. So it's this being flexible, being able to pick up wherever you left off. Maybe you're able to do 2 nights in a row. Maybe you have to go a month and you haven't touched it. So really it's kind of that late night oil burning, and then just kind of having your work schedule segmented, right?
And it's interesting. It feels like with all the mediums, Dan, did we say this off mic? I think we said off mic. With all the different like forms and mediums you have evolving, right? Podcasting is a new one, right? That's taking the world by storm. Do you see books being your lane and that's kind of it, or do you see yourself exploring into other mediums and forms as you continue to write and continue to do other things?
Glad you asked. Yeah, so working on the Kindle version of the first book right now.
Oh, nice.
So the electronic version, it's there, but what I'm trying to do is kind of build that interactive read. So necessarily the kid can kind of when they're a little older, if they do have an iPad or you have the iPad with you, because instead of buying a plethora of books, you just want to buy ebooks, right?
Yeah,
you'll be able to get Aware is Lola-Bear and the rest of the KK Adventures series on your Kindle or on your iPad, and you'd be able to read to them there, or you'd let me read to them, and so the rhyme scheme would be perfect.
On point. Wait a minute. So now you got to talk about that process. So like when you're going from paperback book to a Kindle book, and then now talking about an audio book.
Yeah.
I mean, how's that process? I mean, I never actually thought about how do they pick the person to read the book to you. Explain that process and that whole thing.
Yeah, so it's up to the author or whoever has the majority of the copyright. If you own the whole copyright, it's completely up to you. Mm-hmm. So essentially, you can go in and depending on what software programming application that you're utilizing or leveraging, you'll be able to create the book in that e-domain, and then if you wanted, which is what I'm working on right now, which is a little difficult for me, but definitely turning my way through it. Just being able to highlight the words, right, as they are read, so that you can mute my voice if you think I'm not a good reader, or you want the kid, to focus on them reading, right? It would get that little guided track, right? So they would see that, and it would go on pace with the words being pronounced at the speed that they should be said. So that is a little difficult. It has taken some time, but it's one of those things where once you get it down, it'll be much easier for the second, and the third, the fourth book. So working through that, so super cool. Trying to get that animation where the ball bounces on the words, right? A little tough, but I'm getting there.
Did you ever watch Mad TV growing up, man?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Do you remember there's a comedian by Ari Spears, and he'd always make fun of Shaq, and he'd always had the bouncy ball whenever Shaq was
right. He
disrespected him.
Yeah, because I'm trying to tie it in with Lola, so it's like a little ball for the dog, right? Lola's kind of chasing the ball, right? Ooh. Another layer, right?
Ooh. Dang, man, you got all the ideas, man. Look at you, Gage. Man, you got all the ideas, man.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Dude, all right. Here's a. When we get to the point where we can have holograms, how sick would it be if you open a book and instead of a pop-up book, it's a hologram that like just flows through as you.
Oh, that'd be legit, and it'd just be like a ongoing loop image that would be basically like happening for the page, right?
Dude, what if? Like you have all this like VR stuff. Dude, they definitely hold on. That could be something, man.
Yeah.
Like the kid gets a freaking VR headset and they enter like the book. They enter a book.
I mean, that would be legit. I actually would prefer augmented reality. So like
that scares me. That scares me.
You put on the kid puts on his glasses and in one eye he's able to see, the boys and Lola. And he like walks throughout the house with them, doing the book, looking for Lola. I mean, that would be cool, right?
Man,
that would be cool.
See, I want to get a book now. See, you know what? If they did that, if we spent that much time on books, like putting that in the future, man, I think a lot more people be reading books than, doing these.
Yeah, right. Do a little TikToks.
Do you have a TikTok? Be honest.
No. I do not have a TikTok. Yeah.
I don't either.
But TikTok's infiltrated like everything, right? They're on your gram, they're on your Facebook or your Meta.
Your Meta, yeah, Meta. We're sorry, Meta. We're sorry.
Meta, right?
They hear us, I think.
So definitely listening. Yeah, sure.
I try clicking like every speaker you buy now has a freaking mic on it that says, hey, just click this button and we can hear everything you say. It's like,
Yeah.
no. I want to rip the mic out, but digressing.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, what other because now I'm just gonna leave it open. What other future endeavors do you have planned? Because you threw me for a loop with the Kindle and the read along book. That was crazy. So what else you got planned for the future?
I mean, right now it's just kind of getting that fourth book out, figuring out how to get this. I mean, the Kindle version, electronic version is not hard to make. It's more the formatting, and so it's presentable. So kind of working that level, and then integrating the voice for the read along is kind of the I'd say future over the next, I'd say. For what I'm trying to accomplish, I would say timestamp, 4 years, that, there'd be a total of potentially 4 books, all of them, soft copy, hard copy, you guys, for the hard copies, you got your soft backs and your hard backs. And then for your soft copies, you got read-alongs or just typical straight stick Kindle books. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the plan. So the hope would be is to continue writing, right? There's so many other lessons and adventures that the Trotter twins are going to go on and learn from. And really, what I'm waiting for is as more of our friends have kids, integrating them into the books, right?
Y'all see this, right? Y'all see this? You see what he's doing here?
And I just think that would be awesome, right? So that, all of our friends, right, all their kids are growing up, they have the K&K series, and they're in those books. And, that would just, that would be awesome, right? Like,
that would be awesome. I can't lie. That would be awesome.
Right? They're in this almost alternate plane, right? Discovering and learning together. And then, they finally meet, time goes by and they meet, and they were like, oh my gosh, we were in a book together and we're finally meeting, and I think that'd be pretty cool. So
that is pretty cool, bro. Like, I'm trying to still, now I'm really, again, I go back to like you sitting in that room and like all this stuff just starts to like unfold. It's just insane. It's like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, we gotta talk about creators, right? Because obviously you are now no longer just an officer, you're a creator.
Yeah.
When you're talking about financials and like you don't gotta give numbers, but are books still a profitable business in today's world? And two, you did mention owning copyright. Were you own all your copyright? Was that something you discussed with other people, like Amazon tried to say, hey, if you give us this much of it, we can do this for you? But those are my 2 questions there for your creative side.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways you can go with a book, right? And a lot of people in the beginning can get taken advantage of. I was fortunate enough to where I was able to do like a serious amount of research. And I was able to read up on some, really good sites, and just kind of had that internal gut feeling, right? That like, no matter what, keep the rights, never give your copyrights up, right? Like, let's
say it one more time.
That's rule number 1. So, in the end of the day, the royalties are, going to far surpass anything else, right? Any bulk deal that would be up front. So was able to learn that. So I would say, I feel like that kind of answers that question. And let me know if you need me to go in more in depth on that. I'm happy to go in more in depth on that. So upfront costs, right? Totally depends, right? How much are you trying to market? How much are you trying to integrate into the physical sector, right? In a library, right? At book sales and stuff like that. Are you trying to tap into the electronic social media marketing, right? Are you trying to be one of the first recommended books on Amazon, right? Where are you trying to go? So, you can definitely dig yourself a pit when it comes to marketing if you do not do it right. And I would recommend that you learn how to market and what are the most successful sectors depending on what it is to be an author or a creator, right? Depending on the platform that you're creating, right? There's different sectors that are going to promote more successfully than others, right? Mm-hmm. So children's book, right? Marketing is pretty successful, right? And word of mouth plays a huge role, right? Word of mouth always goes all the way through. Yeah. So I would say it's still a profitable sector. I don't know how profitable it is outside of the children's books realm, but yeah, of course. A good piece of advice I always heard, growing up is your life is your child's life, right? So as you have children, as much as you want to retain that Gage or that Khalif lifestyle, as they get older, your life becomes more their life and where are they wanting to go, right? You want to make them happy. You want to live in a certain neighborhood so that they're safe. You want to live in a certain location so that they're going to the best school. You want them to have certain extracurricular activities, right? So for those 18 plus years, right? Your life becomes their life. And if you have multiple kids, that timeline is extended. So, when it comes to the knowledge of your child, I don't know anybody out there that says, I want my kids to not be smart, right? So everybody's looking for that competitive advantage or that bonding experience, right? So I think for other people that genuinely think they have like a knack for writing children's book, just do it. I've seen so many times other potential authors is, what you want to call them, right? Like they have it. They have a great book concept. They definitely have, the potential rhyme scheme or a good basis or overarching theme that they could write about that they could only write about, right? Mm-hmm. Children's books are so unique, as you dive into them and you really get into, and you don't notice it, I think, until you have kids, right? But once you're burning through those books, you can just see the ones that, you're really attracted in. For all those people that have always wanted to write a children's book, do it. Do it. Yeah. I mean, it can be tough. The formatting is a little difficult in the beginning when you're trying to get it published. I think that's another thing is it's as expensive as you make it, right? Mm-hmm. If you're good with software programming, like, I'm lucky enough to have some, software programming skills. So I'm able to build my book completely online and do that, right? And I know how to work it. Other people don't have they may have the literacy skills to write a fantastic children's book, but they don't know how to deal with the software formatting of it and all the other addendums that come along with that. So you can utilize services and stuff like that, or you can learn it yourself. So, but yeah, if the more that you're able to take on and do yourself, your bottom line, right, drops drastically. And so overall, that overhead cost is just like an initial lump, and you'll break through that ceiling really quickly. But the more that you kind of have that continuous payment system, right, that's kind of where you can kind of, lose cash flow. And depending on who you publish through, everybody has to get what's in it for me, right?
Yep, so, that with them.
Right. So everybody's about that dollar bill, y'all, so, they're going to try to take some skin off the top, and you just got to negotiate, right? A good deal is when both people walk away from it upset, right? That's how you know you met in the middle of the road.
Okay. I like that. Right? I like that one. one.
So if you can get a great deal and you're walking away happy, awesome.
Wait, hold on. But, I know where you got that from, man. Sounds like marriage. That's where you got that from, bro. That sounds like marriage. He said, when you are both upset. I'm like, Oh man, I feel like I've. Wait a minute, I know exactly what that feels like.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
No, man, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I mean, So, like with your sector, are you going more physical, or did you kind of stick to? I know you said Amazon. Can they buy the book in Barnes and Nobles and other places like that, or are you kind of sticking to Amazon for right now?
Sticking to Amazon for right now. I'm going to basically wait until I can get the books all written and published.
Gotcha.
So I'm in it for the long game, right? So get the series out. And then once the series is established and it's there, and honestly, right, who's really going and buying from Barnes and Nobles anymore, right? I mean, there are people that are out there. I do it, right? So I can't say that there's not people doing it, but for the mass majority of purchases, right? People are leveraging Amazon and other applications and other things like that, to get their services that they require. So starting with getting everything on Amazon, once it's there, then we'll start rolling out. And you can actually leverage Amazon to get those physical copies in libraries and stuff like that. So if a library were to want to buy, 50, 100 copies, right, they can do that straight from Amazon, and you can basically cut them a deal via that leveraging system. And then your hands free, right? You're just in the background kind of collecting that check, and then, doing, like for us, doing the donations accordingly per sales. So.
Man, so pretty much you're gonna get out the Navy and become an author. They make a movie deal, right?
That would be the dream. I don't know about that. That's not the goal, right? If it makes kids smile, and whether that's 1, 5, 100, that's enough for me, right? Yeah. Like it's it's more towards the experience and just the genuine feedback, right? Like my kids love this book. This is awesome. Can't wait to see the others, right?
Yeah.
Touching lives in a positive manner. I mean, feels good. Feels real good.
Man, this guy Gage is, man. Man, you doing it, man. You doing it, bro.
Appreciate it.
Oh, man, yo.
Yeah.
Make sure I don't cry. I don't cry on camera.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, man. Gage, I don't want to take too much of your time, bro. I know you got, again, I know you're in school, so you probably got a whole bunch of stuff to do. Is there anything that you want to tell the audience before we, before you log off, or before you get out of here?
Just say thank you for tuning in to the podcast, right? Really appreciate y'all that are interested. Where is Lola-Bear? Amazon, you can buy it. K&K Adventures series, going to be rolling out as time goes by. So appreciate the support. And again, for every 10 books that are sold, we get 1 copy to Johns Hopkins NICU team up there, just supporting the families that are, going through the most, right? And just kind of giving them something to look forward to, right? Even in those trials and tribulations, right? God's next to you. He's there. Just a way to try to find that silver lining. So
I'm gonna give you some real claps this time. Get some real claps.
Appreciate it. Thank you, baby. Thank you.
Oh, don't do that. Don't tease me. Oh, man. Well, Gage, I can't thank you enough, brother, for coming on, man. I can't wait to see how this blows up for you, and how all the success that's coming from now on, bro. I mean, I think this is the crazy part. You already did it. Like, Naval Academy grad, loving father, loving freaking husband, killing it. Like, you've done so much already in your time on this earth. And now you're starting a whole new chapter it's only going to magnify it even more. So I can't wait to see, man, and to stay in tune. My surprise to you is, I don't know if you know, I have 2 nephews.
Oh, yeah.
I got 2 nephews, and they will be getting a copy of your book. Courtesy of myself, man. So I'm going to see my nephew in Spain next week. So I'm hoping it's there by then. But then I'm also sending my nephew in Boston another one. So Forrest and Malik, they both want to get copies of your book, man.
Awesome. Well, I hope
man.
Forrest and Malik enjoy them very much so. So that's awesome. That made my night. Thank you, Khalif. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. And of course, when things change in my situation, maybe a third book coming, or maybe third or fourth. I don't know. Twins run on my wife's side of the family too. So
then that
we'll see.
You're having twins in, maybe.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying it's a thing.
Ooh,
it's a trend.
Get ready for some work.
I think you're bringing up, man. I think. All right, man. Again, man, thank you, Gage, for coming out, man. Want to say thank y'all for tuning in, showing love to the whole podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Leaf Israel, and I'm gonna throw a whole bunch of the typical stuff, man. But I'm on my anti stuff now, right? So guess what? Don't subscribe to that. Don't subscribe to Apple. Don't even look at the YouTube because it'll be up in 2 days. And you know what? Just forget about the Facebook and forget about the Instagram. All right, do what you want to do. But if you want to stop by and check us out, we here. With that being said, I hope everybody has a good Tuesday. And again, enjoy your payday. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Crossroads with missing signs. Not sure, left or right. Maybe straight on, make a path of my own. Never known from before, kicking that door tomorrow. I know it ain't promised, but back home made my mama promise I would make it through these hard times regardless. But these hard times are heartless.